HawK against Chaemiko in a mirror match. If you asked me half a year ago, I would say HawK is clearly the favorite, as Chaemiko's mirror match is not the greatest, but you scolded me a little for these statements. Chaemiko had a win over Infi one day, and since then it felt like something clicked for him in this matchup. He's not the worst human mirror player in professional Warcraft anymore. Actually, on this patch, he is 10-4 and has an 8-0 win streak in human mirror. That's bananas to me.
Yeah, he got so much better, and Chaemiko, he is one of my favorite players to watch right now. He was looking really on fire these last couple of weeks. In fact, the two met just 1 week or 2 weeks ago in the TED Cup. It was a clear 3-0 there, and was of course played on NetEase servers, like it is the case here. Chaemiko also in another tournament was playing against Fortitude and 2-0'd Fortitude there as well. So for Chaemiko, everything seems to be working out. He even played Rifleman into Knights on one base and won that game somehow. It seems like Chaemiko has Midas touch right now, the Midas touch right now. Whatever he touches seems to turn to gold, as I stated in the previous days. I hope just Chaemiko can keep this shape up, because inconsistency has plagued him sometimes in the past. All of his fans are hoping that he's going to be able to perform his best. If he does, HawK is going to have possibly quite a tough game here.
Yeah, Chaemiko also with his best ELO ranking ever, 2,465. That is rank 4 for him. For HawK, that looks a little different, only top 30 in the world. But, of course, I got the stats down for his human mirror as well. You mentioned the one lost against Chaemiko recently, but on this patch, he's 21-3 in human mirror. Of course, he plays a lot of cups, so a lot of early round matches there as well, but only 3 losses in 3 months. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, that is certainly really good. HawK is still one of the best players in Europe, behind Happy and Foggy. That's right where he lands. He is a top competitor, but the top Asian humans are sometimes a bit of a different story. In the past, we saw that with TH and Infi, which were just so incredible. Even Fortitude at times looked super good, but right now, the star on the firmament of human players is Chaemiko. He has been shining the brightest. He has the highest ELO ranking. He has been looking the best. Even was able to outclass Colorful at times in some of these recent online cups, something that almost nobody was able to do. So I'm looking forward to this, to see who's going to be showing up in what shape, and it seems like the pressure's going to be on HawK here to perform very, very well to have a chance to still make it out of the groups.
We see the groups right there. Chaemiko with a win could surpass Lin for the top spot, secure the top A performance. HawK with a win here could tie up with Lin, and he has the easiest third playday match against PCG, at least on paper. Human versus Undead, probably not his favorite matchup, but hey, he also got a lot of practice there, right? Chaemiko on playday 3 still has to face Lin. If HawK has a good result here today, that could be a match for the second place. And yet, Chaemiko, can he get his nerves under control? And here's the map selection. We see Amazonia and Concealed Hill.
Very interesting. Chaemiko removes LR and Tidehunters. Those are the best fast expo into tier 3 maps, and HawK vetoes Echo and Northern. So all the expansion maps eliminated, which makes me a little sad. We go to the small maps, to the hard to expand on maps, AZ and Concealed, both impossible to play fast expansion on. So a clear sign that both these guys want to go into Breaker Mirror and not have to deal with the crazier tier 3 fast expo kind of games.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can we continue to ride the Chaemiko hype train, or will HawK be the roadblock? In the blue for Korea, it is the hottest human in the entire world right now. It's Chaemiko, and one of our 2 Western representatives in Russian red. In the bottom left is HawK. Whenever there's a big tournament, he just shows up in cups. Sometimes his performances are a little underwhelming. We talked about the grand final of the ESL Cup this Monday, where he was defeated against by Happy in 20 minutes in a best of 5. But against Lin, man, this looked really, really good yesterday, despite the worst ping, for sure. How will this have an effect on the human mirror? Both are going for an Archmage here on the starting map, Amazonia.
Yeah, nothing crazy here yet. You know, Chaemiko, he's one of those humans who will sometimes bust out the Mountain King. especially on Echo Isles and Last Refuge. We've seen that before. But Amazonia and Concealed, not the maps where you would expect the dwarf. With the AM, with the water elements, you can creep much better, and it's going to be about an early level 3 normally. Here on Amazonia, you can creep level 3 very reliably, creeping the first 2 camps with the militia, going to the middle, creeping the kobolds, and creeping also the green with militia at the same time. But it seems like these last couple of weeks and maybe months, a lot of humans have also gotten more aggressive and started pressuring on level 2 already.
Super curious about this. Am I wrong, or did Chaemiko also play a Dark Ranger second in this matchup recently? I think he did.
He did, yeah, against Fortitude when he played that rifle style. That was
Yeah.
AM into Dark Ranger, absolutely.
So, HawK, if he prepared well, which I just assume he did because it's the big tournament, he must know this. He must know that Chaemiko has very, very new and interesting tricks up his sleeve that move away from the human mirror norm by a lot. HawK already with the circlet, that is excellent. Second item to come, Chaemiko with the same drop right here. A little faster when it comes to this, but only a split second.
Mika took quite a bit of damage there on these peasants, didn't he? Lightning shield here hurting him a bit, and if it should come to an attack into the main, that could lead to a lot of kills. But Chaemiko again, faster with the creeping, and he's going to be aggressive on level 2. This is the new meta on AZ. Don't creep level 3, but rather be aggressive on 2. It makes a lot of sense with Chaemiko's build because he's a little bit greedy in the early game. He wants to tech fast without an arcane, and this aggression is going to guarantee that he's not going to lose anything in his lane.
Little bit lucky for HawK there, I feel. If he starts this creep spot, this aggression is absolutely horrible and might even break his neck at the very early stages of this game. But he didn't attack the goblins, were not exposed to the bash. And now he's hunting Chaemiko with a couple of footmen hurt already for the Korean. Supply is even, damage is only coming from the Russian, and he brings the fight to the northern base.
All the footies here hurt a bit already. Tech comparison, HawK is actually ahead somehow.
Nice.
Not by much, but by a couple of seconds. So he's going to get to MK and Priest a little faster. Footies aren't really expected to die here with decent micro, and so far both doing it well. And Chaemiko now goes for the boots, has a bit more pick-off potential now with that.
Give me a percentage, Remo. How stuffed is your nose right now?
100%, dude. 100%.
Thought so. If you just take your time if you need it. Chaemiko, interfering once again. This time the creeps have been woken up. Don't think the last hit went to the Korean. Was it a nigh by HawK? And man, this quite a decisive skirmish here. HawK with good micro, but 2 footmen already hurt. But none of them dead. Archmage is chasing. Look at the block. Usually
nice.
the forte by Chaemiko, these little micro moves, but HawK shows I'm here to play.
Yeah, Chaemiko is the king of small army control. His surrounds, his blocks, always amazing. And he's going to get 1-footed kill right there. But it might mean HawK is going to get the rest of the camp in the middle, which would not quite be level 3. He's going to get the little kobold, the tunneler, but the big boy in the item is still up for grabs. 2 footies only left though for Chaemiko. Kind of hard here for him to contest for that. He's probably going to get another footy kill with his own footman. And Chaemiko seems to be getting ahead by a little bit here in this early game.
Okay, sidestep by HawK. He's still trying to dodge him, playing a little catch. Oh, the creeps wake up. That's unfortunate. That's a kill right there. And Chaemiko now showing how body blocks work. Or can he save himself? I don't think so with the circlet damage and the boots. Excellent last hitting by Chaemiko. And HawK is losing quite a bit more here. Supply now even. Ring for HawK, of course, also not the greatest. And this footman actually survives. The boy who lives, Remo.
Will he though? Will he though? AM is looking. Is he gonna look all the way in the corner? Yes.
Ooh.
It's 4 footmen lost for HawK in the early.
Well, yeah, silver lining, you want to rotate out of them anyway, huh?
Yeah, at some point, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be problematic to compete on tier 2. However, HawK got more experience. He got level 3. Chaemiko doesn't have it yet. Double Sanctum coming up. And also, Chaemiko saved his footman, but they're very hurt. And he doesn't have a shop yet, so he can't go for the regen scroll. So very good early game for Chaemiko, certainly. But he did have a shop, actually. Oh, he did get a shop in the meantime, Neo. And look at that regen scroll.
The value,
everything healing him.
Value is absolutely beautiful. HawK is in to get rid of some of this regen. Chaemiko unwilling to go for the goblins where it would be exposed. Or is he? I thought he goes for the shop first, as it's easy to creep with Mountain King Stormbolt on the Shadow Priest. That's exactly what HawK is doing, while his Archmage is getting caught by the hammer. And of course, there's no staff. This forces a town portal early on, so another good move for Chaemiko, who is, putting it into this match. Like, he's quite a bit ahead now.
Yeah, this looks quite similar to their TED Cup recently. Chaemiko just doing everything a little bit better. Getting ahead bit by bit and just playing this matchup really well, like he has been playing everything well recently. Just everything he does at the moment looks wonderful. He now got level 3 AM. He's going to get the item on the MK here from the middle. He got the boots already for him. But, you know, double gauntlets and ring can be given over by HawK to his MK, which is actually pretty damn nice to have on the strength tanky hero.
Totally agree. Especially when they trade Stormbolts, and that's the focus fire going on to HawK's Dwarf, who decides to go for Bash, no Clap, which is the understandable choice. Chaemiko already moving over to the Mercenary Camp, where one of the best drops in the map's falling. HawK, is it a tier 2 expo time? It certainly looks like it.
We see that quite a bit on Amazonia, also sometimes on Concealed Hill. HawK is not really in position, or Chaemiko rather, to punish this. The AM is there, yes, but not the rest of the army. Could summon a Watch Elemental if he wants and kill some more footies. Oh my god, he's gonna get another one! 5 footman kills. There is the spell. He takes out the Elemental. Last it goes to HawK. That would have been a disaster.
Yeah, I thought the same, man. The Fireball, little premature. Scroll the Beast on the ground. That will be a sell for a heal scroll probably. As Chaemiko is approaching his own natural now, with HawK not being around, focuses more on the defense, and Chaemiko getting a flute.
Yeah, wonderful item for him that's going to work on Water Elementals, AM, and the Breakers, and I guess the Priests, although there, of course, it doesn't matter much. And he's going to get level 3 from this camp. What's going to be the big consumable for Chaemiko? Big healing, big invul, big mana potion, all very good. But HawK is level 3 himself, so he seems to be fight ready. Should it come to that, it's a big healing here for the Korean.
Wow. Tied to the dot.
Expanding.
Tied to the dot when it comes to experience. 3-3, 3-1. So Chaemiko seems like with all the pickups he got in the early game, he feels very, very comfortable to be able to push this now. HawK, how much did you put into static defense? There's Militia supporting this push, and again it shows Chaemiko is not your common human mirror player.
Yeah, Chaemiko here comes in with the attack. This, however, to be fair, isn't all in. Oh, look at the block. He gets 1 kill with a Stormbolt, 1 kill with a block, and he gets 2 kills before this fight even starts. Fights a Stormbolt, almost a surround on the AM. Oh my god, he doesn't have a TP. That could have been game right there.
Exactly.
But the AM gets away. Militia arrive for both players.
There's a 10 supply lead for the Korean. All the footmen still in the fight for him. Needs some heavy lifting, but there's a Stormbolt on the Archmage once again. There is absolutely no way out, as he didn't pass the Invul Potion, and that means no Water Elementals, no range damage, no Brilliance Aura for the remainers of the fight, and HawK is in a world of trouble, and I guess has to concede this map.
EG is called. Chaemiko gets the first map. Super solid performance. Great early game. Hunting down all these footmen, getting 4 footman kills early, even a 5th one later on. That really matters. In these early fights at around 50 supply, these footmen are still relevant, and Chaemiko continues to impress. He just does everything a tiny bit better, it seems like, than HawK, and it's going to be his 4th map win in a row against the Russian, across multiple sets.
Yeah, that sounds rough, doesn't it? Chaemiko's tournament run so far as clean as his shirt today. No mistakes, and same as colorful. Just this killer instinct, knowing exactly when to do what. Like every other human probably would have expanded here as well. It was a bold move by HawK to expand here, and maybe that's the difference between them. Was that already like a Hail Mary move by HawK because he was so far behind after this early game, or does he just play it because he always plays it, I wonder?
Yeah, good question. Not one I can answer. It seemed like he wasn't out of it, like chanceless in a one base game. Yeah, he lost those footmen, but it was going to go into breakers. Maybe he just expected the expo by Chaemiko as well, but Chaemiko smartly realizing, well, if you go for this greedy expansion play, I'm going to allow it for you. You can try to go for it, but I'm going to come in with a push and just finish you off. And that worked perfectly the way he was intending it to. Our second map is going to be Concealed Hill, and it could be more of the same. Again, it should be a fast tech to tier 2 going into priests. And this time, it could much more be an expansion of both sides because the distance is much further. It's going to be harder to push such an expansion.
Yeah. HawK exposing his Archmage a little too much this game. I hope he can fix these issues in map number 2. Yesterday, after the match against Lin, he said, that was the first match of the day. It's a little too early, man. I like to sleep until lunch, so the time should be a little better for him, but so far it's not showing. But it was also the second map against Lin that he won, and a tie against Chaemiko would again be very, very good for him, as he has the match against PCG coming up, and then he could end up the group with 5 points ideally, and that would be the playoffs for him. But speaking of playoffs, Chaemiko one map away from securing the playoffs, same as Focus and Colorful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad to see this. Chaemiko continues to perform well, continues to look really good over here. And if he wins now, if he gets the 2-0, HawK could still make it in, even with only 1 point, if he 2-0s PCG and if Chaemiko 2-0s Lin.
Yeah.
But that's big ifs. And by the way, he wouldn't be in then. He would just be tied for second with Lin and would have to have a tiebreaker against him.
Not the easiest, man. Not the easiest at all. Wonder how these tiebreakers work. Will they just continue to play maps best of 3? Will it be, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to investigate for tomorrow, or it could have a little bit of overtime for the broadcast. But first of all, we get map number 2. It is HawK's map now. Chaemiko picking Amazonia, winning Amazonia. HawK, big points for him when it comes to the playoffs. As we said yesterday, not the greatest WGL performances, especially here when he was on that stage. Only once he made it into the playoffs. Apart from that, group stage eliminations left, right, and center. Time for him to show his skills. Chaemiko versus HawK, map 2.
HawK has big ambitions, as always. He wants to make it to the final, he wants to win the tournament, but Chaemiko might be stopping that dream here. Again, if HawK loses, he still has a chance to make it out of the group, but it's going to be out of his hands, and it's going to be not very likely, but still has a chance, even in that scenario. Chaemiko now can punch his ticket if he gets the win here. We're going to see an AM opening again. We're going to see a fast tech almost 100%. Only question is one of them going to be going for a big creep camp at the lab right away? That used to be popular for a while, but slows down your tech a lot, so we don't see it that much.
Especially Chaemiko, right? He loved to go for that lab early. Not too sure if HawK picked up on it too much. We've seen it a couple of times, but I kind of doubt that. He's more the standard player, oftentimes plays it safe, and I expect that here as well. I do expect a tier 2 expansion by HawK once again. He plays the meta, what appears to be the strongest, and then it's up to Chaemiko to punish this again, and would love to see a Dark Ranger here now, whereas the creep spot is so hard in the upper left.
Is he gonna do it again? Rifles into knights. I would love to see it. If you get to a couple of knights, of course, with Sundering Blades, they have crazy good damage against the breakers, which are what we're expecting to see. Footman going out. Going for the creep, going for the scout, I mean. I would not expect Chaemiko here to go for the lab. It seems like he much more favors a faster tech nowadays, somewhat greedy without a tower. And yeah, he's just gonna go for the normal orange, just like HawK.
Yeah, that was to be expected, right? A tame early game. But then in the late early game, there might be a chance for one of his players to be aggressive once again, to contest a shop, to contest a crab spot in the middle. Chaemiko moving into the base. Both are moving into the base, but immediately forced away there, I guess. Man, I wonder when they get the technology to make the overlay fit to the starting positions. It's just not there yet, right?
Technology isn't there yet, Neo. We're gonna have to wait for Elon Musk to come up with that someday. Competing for the level 2. Big last hit here! And it goes to Chaemiko. Gets a Tome of Intelligence, which is also pretty nice, but HawK follows up with his own level 2, gets the Watch Elemental kill, and perhaps a Footman. Ensnare flying onto the Korean's unit, and it's gonna be First Blood.
Okay. Oh man, did you see how close that was? Both fireballs arriving at pretty much the same time, but it is now HawK with level 2 here. And another creep for him. Water Elemental gave good experience. Footman down is also pretty nice for him. So this first skirmish is going a little better than the one on Amazonia, I would say. Not trying to deny that. Water Elemental, more good experience for the Korean. And Chaemiko is able to save so much.
Nighttime now. Boots are available. And Chaemiko seems to want to go for them. Could perhaps chase down some of these footies. May have to walk a long way, though. Goes for the boots right there. HawK going for the green camp. Oh, if Chaemiko has the read here, he could punish this perhaps, but not gonna go for it.
Yeah, and Chaemiko sent the militia away from his turtle, so a little bit of a lead for HawK, 2.5. With that Footman kill as well. Supply-wise, very, very even. HawK going for boots himself now this time. Yes, he is. And on the right-hand side, almost another kill. The dragon. Whoo, just walking out of range. Ah, so close. Dragon too old and too slow.
Needs a better attack speed. I think that's even footy count now. I believe both players losing one Footman so far. One footy only is not the end of the world. But here now Chaemiko comes in with a nice little creep jack. He's going to take out one more Footman. And going to try to get the last hit on the creep as well. Gets the footy. That's slow, making that an easy kill for him.
Was it deny though? It would have been level 3. One more kill is level 3. There we go. HawK with the advantage of the level 2 Water Elemental can cause some serious damage right now. Chaemiko is actually half a level away.
Militia are creeping at the green in the meantime, but there's still something missing. Footy at the fountain. Probably going to go down if he wakes up the creeps, but then again, it would not be enough experience.
Man, Chaemiko's Archmage quite a bit in trouble here.
Yeah, HawK with a nice lead here in this early game.
Okay, can he carry this into victory? Can he once again start a comeback on map 2 and secure that so important point? Shop coming up now. T2 has been reached. We're just waiting for the MKs. Or does Chaemiko have a trick up his sleeve? He's actually supply block. Can't build the MK. Oh,
and the shop is going to get cancelled. That's some serious issues here arising. And the footies come in. The peasants are hurt already. It's not a wall off. The Water Elemental is walking in. HawK
Wow.
with some really good moves.
Unbelievable. He can pick up the item as well. Whoops, that's the slippers here. He's losing a Footman for the efforts, but that slowed down mining a little bit. The Water Elemental is still around. And what's Chaemiko doing in the meantime? He still struggles to get level 3.
Bring the footies now back to the main. But he gets another Footman surround. He got one footy surround already, and he follows up with a second one. Classic Chaemiko, and it's going to be almost level 3 for him. If he kills the Water Elemental, yes. He stops attacking with the tower, gets the last hit with the footies, and that is now him on level 3 as well.
Wasn't for free though. Lost Footman himself, and the shop deny was big too. Mining, a little bit of gold advantage for HawK, who invested it immediately into the sanctums, and the shop first sanctum almost done. He didn't really need that shop earlier, that's fine. And especially when it comes to production buildings, Chaemiko is a minute behind, I think.
Yeah, the lumber is still low because of all the militia he used. He still can't go for that second sanctum. But he's going for a big creep camp right away. Solo creeping the MK at the lab. Going to be level 2 for him. And a nice item. AM in the middle of the red. Oh, he might be going for the Overlord after that.
Could be contested. HawK is a little further away. So is it time for an expansion now as we arrived on tier 2? So far, not really. Chaemiko is checking. How's it looking here? Is everything peaceful? Yep. Okay. Let's go. Let's take a visit to the tavern.
Well, the Overlord was kind of getting blocked by his own creeps.
Oh.
Yeah. A little unlucky.
So much wasted time. Okay, but this is a little bit surprising to me that HawK is going shop into lab. No natural.
Good experience. Good experience for him. He's going to get level 2 then from this. with Militia pretty quickly doable. And HawK, now he's the one who can go for this kill.
He might set up a trap, or wanted to set up a trap, a little too late for that. Now Chaemiko is moving over to his own shop. Both are playing around each other, don't want to fight, want to get the priests and breakers out, get the dispel to be able to fight the water elementals, get the levels up on the Mountain King, which are pretty much exactly the same. Invul potion for Chaemiko and a heal scroll. Big healing for HawK.
And a big item now. Lots of good ones to find here with the Stormbolt. That should work out. Oh, not quite a block. Man, this Orgalord is slippery today.
Oiled up. Maybe paid a visit to Camp Knopf before. With the help of Bash. Should be able to take it. And that's a lot of experience. No shockwave if I saw that right. So the priests are all help. Okay, here I go. Jinxed it, eh? But it is the Now I Learned It Ancient Django of Endurance. Absolutely excellent to have additional movement speed in this matchup.
Yeah, one of the best items there certainly he could have found. And it's going to be level 3 MK as well. Chaemiko doesn't have that yet. He's going to need to get it at the green, which he will in a moment. We have a healthy priest count out now. And now we're going to go into breakers off of one base. This is what we were expecting. No tier 2 expansion this time by either of our players.
Yeah, that's really surprising. Chaemiko's scouting for it. HawK doesn't. Constantly keeps his army together. Both with the level 3 MKs. Crystal Ball on Chaemiko's side, so you can constantly scout for that expansion, then sell it. There we go with the Blacksmith for upgrades. Same timing for HawK. We arrive at 50. HawK with a scroll probably as well. There we go. And it's time to push, as he might expect an expansion here, but it's not coming.
Is HawK really gonna want to fight here? This would be a favorable position for Chaemiko because he's close to the main.
Yeah.
Militia support for him is gonna be very, very strong. Unlike for HawK. HawK is calling the boys already. Wait a minute. He's sending peasants into the middle. Is he gonna expand on the high ground?
Whoa, you madman. Can we just for a second appreciate the work of the Quenching mod who painted the shields of the Spellbreakers blue so we know whose units are whose? We have the fight going on, and HawK immediately going for the Mountain King, gets the reverse focus now. Lots of focus fire, but one has a big heal potion, one has the big invul potion. What's gonna be better in the end is the question. Both surround everything here, and HawK has a hard time saving his MK heal scroll. Last ditch effort!
Whoa.
Can't get out, can't pass the TP, and that's a major move for Chaemiko, and he just taps out. Win for Chaemiko, and HawK's in trouble now as Chaemiko is advancing into the round of 8 alongside Focus and Colorful. 4-0, 6 points, wonderful performance.
Super well done by Chaemiko. You mentioned earlier his killer instinct. Chaemiko just knows what he has to do. Most players out there wouldn't focus the Mountain King because he has a big healing, right? He's tanky. But guess what? You force the big healing, you keep him stuck, you snowball him again, and you just kill him. And that's the game right there. Chaemiko just absolutely deadly at the moment. And he's through into our playoffs. HawK still has a very slight chance. If he 2-0s PCG, and if Chaemiko 2-0s Lin, then HawK would be tied with Lin. There would be a tiebreaker for second position.
Has to rely on Chaemiko now. Was his foe today, he's gonna be his best friend tomorrow when Chaemiko is facing Lin there. Ooh, not the greatest odds. And of course, HawK has to beat PCG as well. Not as good as yesterday's second match against Lin, but Chaemiko, as we said, he's a menace in Yumamura. And if I say this, it must be true, as I know everything about Chaemiko's performances in Yumamura in the past 5 years, obviously. We're gonna hear from the man in a bit. We have a little interview brewing up. So yeah, situation is pretty clear. HawK needs a 2-0 win over PCG, has to rely on Chaemiko as well to at least tie up against Lin. Rough. Next up, by the way, is probably the main event of today, as 1-2-0 is facing Lawlight in Group D.
Which should be a closer game, I would imagine. Today has really been the day of stomps so far in the first half. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there for the second half, especially the next game is going to be hype, but I'm going to have to get my first shot today. And Ricky is going to come in, our dear beloved Bidu, to take over for the second half later. And yeah, it's going to be some super cool games.
We had the WGL debut already in 15 Sway, and he did fairly well. I hope Bidu on his debut is going to do a good job as well. Otherwise, I'm going to kick him off after like 5 minutes. Okay, this is also a little bit do or die for Lawlight coming up. We have the highlights here. It's as often for HawK, right? He has a very solid early game. He's doing a lot of things right. And then one mistake, one overcommitment breaks his neck.
Yeah, this game he had that fast level 3 AM, but he wasn't really able to like transfer it into any kind of big lead. Chaemiko caught up, he got his own level 3 and then defended. He was even supply blocked, the MK was kind of late, but even with some things not going his way, Chaemiko still fights his way back. There were some wonderful footman surrounds we saw in the main there with his militia. Chaemiko always deadly with those surrounds. He made sure he got the experience of the water elemental. Chaemiko just looking damn solid. In his game against Lin, man, that's going to be cool. I'm so looking forward to that one. Chaemiko has a really good style nowadays against a Farsi Headhunter, and Lin will have something prepared, tailor-made against that. And I'm very excited to see what that is.
Absolutely. We're kind of speed running today. 3 matches in just below 2 hours. It could be a quick day before we have probably a very long day tomorrow. Thanks to all the mods, by the way, who help us out here with the chat experience. Also, big shout out to the Liquipedia people who just constantly keep everything up to date with the map score, especially in these round robin group stage situations. It's not that easy as a caster, so you make our lives a lot easier. Shout out to that. And to you. Thank you, Get Rich Brothers, for the 2-year resub. As always, loving the WGL content. Thanks for covering it, boys. Thank you very much for supporting us for such a long time. Lemon Walker also with a 3-month hype. Hope we see some good games today. Also, really good, my man. If you guys want to help us out and keep the Back to Warcraft engine running, especially in summer, this is not the easiest job. You can tell me 40 degrees in this room, hot action in front of me as well, sweating a lot. Then feel free to check out the About section of this very channel. Twitch subs available, donations available via PayPal, credit card, and cryptocurrency. We have a sponsorship by CORSAIR, and if you pay them a visit via the link in the stream description, that helps us as well. If you decide to buy one of their wonderful projects, one or maybe these excellent headphones with Dolby Atmos, use the coupon code BACKTOWARCRAFT for a 10% discount. And we have a merch shop as well. We have an Amazon ref link as well. So plenty of ways to support us, as well as following us on our socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Man, we're on the pulse of time, Remo.
Yeah, I'm a big TikTok user myself, Neo. I have started making TikTok dance videos, and I'm gonna get famous.
The Macaremo only on TikTok. TikTok.com/BackToWarcraft. It's coming. It's coming. Remo promised this right here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. I'm all up in that social game, Neo, as you well know. We're getting ready for our interview. Chaemiko with a wonderful performance. Can he make it a perfect 3-0? Can he get 9 points out of the group stage? If he 2-0s Lin as well, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Lin, though, we saw him yesterday. Lin, things have definitely gone wrong for him sometimes. He lost against HawK in a game where nothing worked out. He was super far behind against PCG, but he showed great experience and just his superior class as a Warcraft player. The fact that he won that game yesterday, that map too, absolutely ridiculous. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but Lin might actually be in trouble against Chaemiko, which might be like the first time ever that's the case.
And I don't know, man. There have been WGL performances by Lin that were very, very underwhelming. I think also last time, right? He was eliminated last place.
Yeah, against
Winter.
Fortitude, right? He was tower pushed.
The tower push, exactly. And this wasn't the first time it happened to him. In summer 19, he was eliminated in the group stage. Winter 17, spring 16. It's like two sides to a coin or something. Once he's overwhelmingly great, goes to the final and owns everybody, or it's the group stage elimination, and tomorrow will show where Lin is heading in this tournament.
Yeah, it's gonna be proving grounds for Lin. Like, this isn't God mode Lin. it's
Nope.
good, and we have seen signs of brilliance. Like map 1 against HawK was insane. Map 2 wasn't that good. Map 1 against PCG was very clear. Map 2 wasn't that good. So Lin needs to find his rhythm again, needs to find a balance again if he wants to make it very far here. And if he plays his best, he's always a top contender to make it to that fight.
Still waiting for Chaemiko to arrive for this interview. Everybody is waiting for that currently. Tomorrow we're gonna be here at 12 once again with the last day of the group stage. Please note and mark it in your calendars that the playoffs are gonna be 2 hours earlier, 10 a.m. Central European Summer Time. We'll of course post it all over Reddit. It's gonna be on our homepage. It's gonna be all over the socials. So we will try to keep you up to date as much as possible. But we know some of you guys don't pay attention too much. And if you're a person of habit, then don't tune in at noon only, because then you're probably gonna miss 1.5 matches of these glorious best of 5 quarterfinals that we're gonna have.
And that shall not happen. Especially for these playoffs, we're gonna have some kick-ass games. We're separating the wheat from the chaff right now, and our top 8, whoever it is gonna be the tippity top, the cream of the crop of the Warcraft scene.
The cream always rises to the top. Oh, Macho Man, rest in peace, brother.
Oh, Randy Savage, what a absolute legend.
Absolute legend.
Can you imagine Macho Man in the UFC nowadays? Sitting at the press conference.
Press conference against McGregor, oh boy.
Honestly, his trash talk was much more classy and polite than we see nowadays. Nowadays, they're just rude. They're just bad manners.
Yeah, I think so too, man. The post-game interview wasn't too great, man. That was low class, unfortunately.
I mean, a lot of people got very satisfied, though, when McGregor, heading into the fight, said 15 different times he was going to put Poirier on a stretcher. And guess who left on a stretcher?
Yeah,
well, the shoe was on the other foot, so to say.
Kind of worried that Lolite is leaving this tournament on a stretcher as well, as he was defeated by 15 Sway already earlier. Gonna see his match against 120 up next. Wonder if they just cut the interview or if we see him. And we see the group stage once again. So this is the standings right now to bridge a little bit of time. Focus, 4 points, 6 points, 4 maps, clearly qualified. Moon still contesting Fortitude, but Moon is up against Focus tomorrow. He has it in his own hands. If he defeats Focus or get a point, that's enough. And he can do it. Fortitude, limited chances. Colorful also qualified. So and Sok and Linguaga still fighting for rank 2 here. Chaemiko qualified with 6 points and 4 maps as well. Lin and HawK fighting with PCG eliminated. And in Group D, Foggy has the lead after 2 matches with 4 points, 1 draw, 1 victory. But the draw was against 120, and it is for Lawlight now to decide where this group goes.
Yeah, this next game coming up after the interview and after the break, that's gonna be a big one. Lawlight needs to perform here. He absolutely can do it. His lineup versus Undead is very good. The two have been having really close contests over the years. Their stats are pretty even, and it's gonna be a fun best of 2. But Lawlight, he needs to break this WGL curse, man.
Oh yeah, never made it into the final. His only big grand final was WCA 2016. That's about it. Not even in Next. I mean, of course, at DreamHack, he was the winner of the summer season. And in some tier 2 cups. But yeah, okay, Next. Sorry, it was summer 2020, right? Where he got 2nd place. Oh no, that was 120. So yeah, no big final for Lawlight so far. And we're still waiting if we get the interview or not.
Yeah, they're still working on it.
Yeah, I always wonder what is so complicated about that. I mean, at DreamHack, it's just child's play for us when we are producing, right?
Well, you know, Neil, not everyone can be as amazing as we are. Yeah, maybe a microphone isn't working or something like that. Sometimes, sometimes the computer does some weird stuff. But hopefully we're going to have a chance to hear from Chaemiko. I wonder if he's really relieved here, or if he had so much confidence that he was expecting this one, because I wouldn't be too surprised if he does have that confidence, because everything has just been going well for Chaemiko. Everything has been working out. And I think he's going to make top 4 at least this WGL, I gotta say.
Okay, man. Here we go, everybody. With the interview, we got Wong as a translator here for us. So hopefully we can bring you the answers as quickly as possible. And there we have him. Good mood as always. Hello, hello.
Hello.
好害羞。好，那这个首先还是要恭喜一下 Chaemiko 是拿到了晋级到8强的第2个席位。那还是想要请问一下，他在拿下2个2-0过后，
Chaemiko, congratulations! You just had the second 2-0 in this group. How do you feel about it?
지금 현재 승점으로 봤을 때 다 2대 0으로 이기셨는데 지금 현재 심정이 어떠세요?
일단 처음에 생각한 계획대로는 일단 잘 돼가지고 좀 뭔가 변수 없이 잘 이루어져가지고 좋습니다.
首先的话，所有2场比赛都是按照自己的计划来进行的，所以没有一些意外，所以能战胜2场比赛还很开心。
是的，那其实我们也看到了这2场比赛 Chaemiko 向我们展示了什么是真正的
both series went as expected. So I'm happy. The results are good.
团战之前他是有做哪些準備？當時他是怎麼樣的一個策略呢？
How do you prepare for this game, Chaemiko?
처음에 초반에는 되게 불리하게 시작했는데 그 상황에서 어떻게 준비하면서 대처해 나갔는지 혹시 얘기해 주실 수 있어요?
레벨은 딸리지만 레벨하고 태클은 좀 딸렸지만 어쨌든 호크 선수의 풋맨만은 무조건 잡아가지고 풋맨 그 수를 차이를 벌리고 어찌어찌 50대 54원만 가면은 그 핑 차이 때문에 이길 수 있을 거라 생각했습니다.
前期的话，因为等级跟装备还有以及科技可能会稍微落后，他当时想的是只要抓住 HawK 选手的步兵的话，然后维持50对50的对战，他这边还是有把握战胜这一场比赛的。
好的，也是再次恭喜到 Chaemiko， 也非常感谢他为我们带来的这场精彩比赛。那一起和大家来说再见吧，拜拜 Chaemiko，
拜拜。
Still waiting for the answer right here. Here we go. In the early game, it was really bad for me, so I tried to kill his footman as quickly as possible and as much as possible to balance the game out for me. And in the end, that worked out. And I think I heard the mention of pink, but I'm not 100% sure. This was game 3 of the day. We're gonna switch co-casters here as Abido is taking over Remo's spot for this banger match that is 1-0 versus Lawlight. Remo, I hope everything goes well for you and I hope we see you tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy Bidu especially, and I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, see you.
See ya in 4 minutes.